Hi guys, welcome back to Asher Brothers Outdoors. I'm your host Anthony Asher, and I want to welcome you to the second episode of our complete guide on how to get started trapping series. We're going to be talking about traps in this here episode, and there's one thing I want to touch on from the last episode where we talked about equipment, set making equipment. Definitely you're going to need a kneeling pad and gloves as well. I left that out in the last video. The kneeling pad that helps keep the area more natural. It cuts down on human scent, and it also keeps thorns and stickers, like we have in great abundance here in Texas, out of your knees. So definitely use a kneeling pad. Use some gloves. That will also help cut down on the scent you leave and keeps those nasty thorns and stickers out of your hands. As far as gloves go, some people like to use leather gloves. I don't recommend leather because leather attracts, absorbs odors, so a lot of people don't recommend using leather. So I like the Cold Creek trapping gloves from North American Trapper. They are very well built, and it keeps your hands warm, definitely warm and dry, and it's great for setting snares, setting leg holes, whole 9 yards. And I especially like to wear them in cold weather. So I thought I'd touch on that. But now let's get into traps. Definitely check out your state regulations before you buy any traps at all, because the state regulations, they change a lot in different states. So in Texas we got pretty good trap laws, so there's not a lot of restrictions here, thank goodness. So right now, if you don't already know, go check out your state regulations as regard to traps before you buy anything, because I don't want you to get in trouble from my videos. So yeah, let's jump into this. So we've got several traps we're going to show you here today, and we're going to start with coyote traps. Now for coyotes, anything from a number 3 to a 1 3/4 is perfect size. A number 4, in my book, that's overkill. And if you get down to a 1 1/2, you're asking for trouble if you're using a 1 1/2 for a coyote trap. I've caught and held coyotes in 1 1/2s, but I wouldn't use it as go buy a bunch of 1 1/2s specifically for coyotes. If it's rigged properly, you can probably hold them without a problem, but I wouldn't recommend, like I said, it using it as a full-time coyote trap. So as far as bobcats go, I would recommend anything from a 1 1/2 to a number 3, and we've actually held them in number 1s, and we caught them by accident in number 1s, and it held them, but same thing as a 1 1/2 for coyotes. I wouldn't recommend it. As far as fox go, a number 1 1/2 is perfect size. This is a 1 1/2 here. This is the Wolf Creek Eliminator 1 1/2, and it is perfect size for fox. It's built sturdy enough. If a coyote stumbles into it, you're probably gonna hold him. So I definitely wouldn't recommend anything above a number 2 for fox, because they have small brittle leg bones, and you start getting too big of a trap, it's very possible that you'll have paw damage. So if I'm sending specifically for fox, a 1 1/2 or 1 3/4 is my go-to trap. For coyotes, a number 2 is the perfect size trap. Don't be fooled by those people that say you have to have a number 3 or a number 4 for coyotes. You don't. Number 2 is perfect size. Like I said, I've caught them and held them in little Sleepy Creek 1 1/2s and Wolf Creek 1 1/2s. I caught them and held them in those traps without a problem. But so don't be fooled thinking that you have to have a giant trap for coyotes. So anyways, I really like the Duke 650 and 550. If I can find it. Here we are for coyotes. Now like I said, there are some cons to using big traps. One, they're heavier, they're more bulky, they're harder to carry, and you got to dig a bigger trap bed for them. So especially in areas where you're real rocky and real got a lot of frozen ground, real just hard ground in general, like we have a lot of that around here, you don't want to be digging a giant trap bed, because that disturbs the area more, makes it more unnatural, and it takes up a lot more of your energy, and it takes longer. Like when you're making sets, like I said, you want to be in and out. So with the bigger trap, if you have real hard, unfavorable conditions, I won't use a big trap. I'll use something like a 1 3/4 or a number 2. These, both the 650s and 550s, are very, very easy to bed, and they hold very well. And I just really like the 550s and 650s. My 550s are like my go-to all predator trap mainly for coyotes and bobcats. That's mainly what we have. We do have a few fox in our area as well, but not a very large population, at least in my area. You go a few miles down the road and we have a lot of fox, but right here where I'm trapping, I really don't have a lot of fox. But if you're looking, you have a lot of all 3 of those species, and coons maybe too. The perfect all predator size trap would be a 1 3/4 offset. That's what we're going to do another video later on. Probably the next episode we're going to do it on how to rig your traps, how to modify your traps, how to trick your traps, all 9 yards. So I won't get too much into it on this video. I'm just going to say right here, offsets are better than close jog every day. So this is a really good all predator trap, and so is the Duke version of this. This is a Sleepy Creek 1 3/4 offset 2 coil, and it comes, like I said, offset. It's base plated and center swiveled. And when both Duke and Sleepy Creek, when they offset the traps, they widen the jaws on it, so that eliminates the need for laminations. And we'll talk more about laminations and cast jaws in a separate episode. But these traps are pretty much ready to go out of the box. All you need to do is adjust your pan tension, put it where you like it. I like 2 pounds pan tension. That way I'm not missing the fox, the coons, the skunks, because you can make a lot of money off skunks. So about 2 pounds pan tension. These are great. Let's see, I may have one in here, but it does not appear that I do. But the Duke 1 3/4, if you get it offset 4 coiled, it already comes base plate and center swiveled. It's got a little bit beefier base plate than the Sleepy Creek does, but what I really like about all Sleepy Creek traps is they're made in the United States of America, so that's always a good deal to think about. I really like those U.S. made traps. But these are a little bit more expensive, but the Duke version of them, they're like $12 a piece. So for those of you who have a little bit tighter budget, can't afford the U.S. made traps, those Duke 1 3/4 are great all predator traps, especially for beginners. Now let's talk about some Wolf Creek traps. This right here is Wolf Creek number 3 Eliminator dogless offset, and you modify those things up, those things are sweet. I used both their number 3s, their number 2s, and their 1.5s this past season, and I really, really, really like them. And I'm hoping to try some of their dark proofs. They make both the Alcatraz and the Diablo dark proof traps, and they're really nice. I've never tried them before, but I've seen pictures of them, I've seen people use them, and I really like them. They've got some little gadgets on them that I really like to try out. This is another great all predator trap. This is their Wolf Creek's number 2 Eliminator dogless, and you can get these both in dogless and dog-on. And the dog-ons are a lot easier to adjust the pan tension of, but there's much less to tear up on. And what I like about them, the pan's sitting nice right below the jaws, and so you have a nice level trap at. And what I like about the Wolf Creeks, they're a great trap for all trappers, especially those who have a tight budget again. I think that's what shies a lot of people away from the Wolf Creek traps, is they see the price and they're like, it's awful cheap. They're like, I don't know if, I don't want to buy a piece of junk. Take my word for it, they're not a piece of junk. Like Glenn Witchy himself, the owner of Wolf Creek Products, said he's not in it for the money. He's in it, to help the trapping community. And all of his traps, he doesn't mark them up huge from what it costs costs him, because he's not in it for the money. So he does all he can to keep the prices low, and he does a very good job of that. And you can get you can get these things and fully modify them and still be as cheaper than a lot of those more expensive brands out there that are pretty popular nowadays. Not to say there's anything bad about those, there's not, but I really like these. Great for the budget trapper, and they hold up very well. I caught a lot of coyotes in them last season, both the number 3s and the 1.5s, and you can't tell which ones the coyotes were caught in. They held up that well. So, so rehearse it again. The coyotes, anything from a 1 3/4 to a number 3 is perfect size. For bobcats, anything from a 1.5 to a number 3 is just right. For fox, anything from anywhere's, if you're going after grays, anything from a number 1 to a number 2 would be fine. If you're going after reds, I'd say anything from a 1.5 to a number 2. So once you start getting into your coons, possums, and skunks, anything from a number 1 to a 1 3/4 is perfect. Now this strap was great for all 3 of those animals. This is a Wolf Creek number 11 Eliminator, and this is the only of its kind on the market. It is offset, double jawed, and 4-coiled. You show me another number 1 like that. If you find another number 1 like this one, I want to know, because to my knowledge, no other company makes one like this. It's got a pretty good little kill zone on it for a 1.5, and as you can see, it's double jawed. If you don't know what that means, it's got a bar right inside the jaws here, so when a skunk or a coon or something like that gets caught, they can't get in there to chew, because if you ever caught a coon or anything like that before, they love to chew. They'll chew everything that they can find in sight, and a lot of times they'll start chewing on the ball, so that little bar there keeps them getting their nose in there so they can chew. So this is a really, really nice little trap. And Glenn Witchy, who's the owner of Wolf Creek Products, he said the only thing he thinks you have to do to his traps right out of the box is bolt the tips to jaws. That's it. That's all he recommends doing to them. I like all my traps. I'm going to be showing this in the next episode. Like I said, I like all my traps to be base plated, center swiveled, and laminated jaws. That gives you a longer trap life, and it's much easier on the end when you catch them. But we're going to go into that in a separate video. Now, once you start going into conibears, for skunks, a 160. For skunks and possums, a 160 is a perfect size. All 3, both Duke, Wolf Creek, and Sleepy Creek, all make good conibears. And I like the 160s as a perfect size for a skunk. For coons, I like a 220. That's about a perfect size, because sometimes we'll get a refusal with a 160 if you have a big coon. So, and Wolf Creek also makes one of their conibears is pretty nice. I wish I could remember the name of that right now. Here, I'll put it on the screen for you. He's caught a lot of coons with that. Sometimes you will get some refusals with it, but what's nice about those, any coon that commits, you're going to get a good head catch on them. So you will get some refusals. You'll get some more skunks and whatnot in it, but it's still a pretty nice trap, especially for budget trappers. So, alright, I hope this video helped you out. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments, or my contact information will be at the end of this video. So, go enter our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We got some cool stuff we're going to be giving away as soon as we reach 1,000 subscribers. So, go enter for your chance to win. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.